Hi, I'm Craig Cameron, and today, checking your horse up. Hey, what is checking? It's all about developing flexibility laterally and vertically to give you that great position to develop the maneuvers that you want to do. Hey, that's all coming up next on Ride Smart.
Volume 1 of Ride Smart with Craig Cameron is now available on DVD.
I've been using Prefer products for over 2 decades now, and equipment that I bought over 20 years ago, hey, it's just as good as the day I bought it.
Prefer provides a variety of ranch equipment, including panels, roping chutes, stocks, feeders, walkers, and more.
Hey, Prefer, they've got the equipment for the job.
Preferred ranch equipment, built by ranchers for ranchers. On the web at Preferred.com. And now back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
You know, I love checking my horses up. And what checking does is develop a lot of great flexibility laterally and vertically with your horses while you're on the ground. You know, a lot of top hands, reiners use checking to really enhance that position on their horses. So you can start lots of different ways, but one thing you got to make sure of is that your horse knows how to give the pressure before you ever try checking him up. That's fairly important to understand. You can't just take a green horse, go in there and start checking him and wonder why he panics and maybe flips over, actually could even hurt himself. But if you have your horse well prepared, hey, you're not going to run into problems, and these horses are just going to get better and better for you. So, you know, again, I want to make sure my horse is pretty soft here on her face. You know, make sure she knows how to give the pressure a little bit, and just soft like that. In other words, this is going to get her soft. You can see this mare could use a little bit of flexibility exercise. I mean, that's pretty good, but she could certainly get better. Be sure you've warmed your horses up before you try this. I've kind of moved this mare a little bit around on the ground this morning, hadn't got up on her back, but I'm going to check her, and I'm just going to start by working simply from the halter. You know, you can do this kind of checking with your snaffle bits, but I also like to start it just in a simple rope halter. From there, we'll eventually advance right up to our snaffle bit, but let me show you. I'm going to take a simple check line. It's something I've developed. It's just a real simple piece of equipment because a lot of times I got tired of breaking my reins or tying those reins in a knot, so this is just a great starting point for me. I got a quick release snap here that once I put it in here, you can see I'm going to go right here just like this into the cheek piece of that halter, just like so. And if you'll notice, this mare is not going to be checked very deep. And I think that's one of the big secrets that you got to understand when you go to checking your horse up. Don't check them too deep, because then all they learn to do is lay on the bit or lay on the halter. You want them to find a lot of release, just like in everything else that we do. So if I pull my lead line off, I'm going to get ready to check this horse, and I'm going to ask her just to simply follow a feel. So watch, I'll bring her around real soft, and look how I'm just going to check her, try to check her right into that cinch ring just like so. So look, she's not checked very deep, but she's definitely got her nose tipped to the left. And the whole idea is that when she moves to the left, or tips her head to the left, she's going to find release. And so this is a real good way to work your horses. Remember, be sure you've done your homework from the horse's back first. You get your horse soft. This is not something you want to do with a really green horse. This is a horse that you've advanced along a little bit, and now you're just trying to get her better. So if you watch this mare, see how that nose is tipped to the left, and she's checked to the left. That's a check there. That's a lateral check to the left. Now I'm going to bring up my flag, and obviously I've introduced the flag to this horse. This is not the right time to be introducing the flag. You need to introduce the flag, make sure they're not scared of it, and I'm going to flag this mare away from me. In other words, to her left, a flag her on her right eye, and ask her to follow a feel to the left, just like so. Watch, I'm going to step to the left and ask her to move around like so. So she's learning to follow that feel. And every time you see slack in that white line or the check line, that mare is given to it. So now I'm asking her to follow her feet around. She's stepping to her left, I'm stepping to my left. And she's learning to follow that feel. And it's just a good way to kind of get them started. You're not getting wild or crazy. Matter of fact, you're letting her actually spend some time just standing still if that's what she wants to do. And you allow her to just find that softness or that slack in that line all on her own. Then you can encourage her to move her feet from time to time. So if you notice, I'm going kind of slow here and allowing her to figure out, hey, everything's all right. Boy, there's a nice check to the left, a slack in that line, and she's finding that there's something in it for her. And that's that release, that softness here. Boy, that's what I like her to find. Now I'm going to ask her to go one more time. I'll just move her around the pen like this, and I'll step to my left. She steps to her left. Watch, and I don't flag her unless I can see just that right eye. And boy, she's really all on her own learning to turn around. That's good for your horse, you know. And so when I walk in there to uncheck this mare, I want to just go slow. You know, right now I'm saying, well, don't move. So that's why I dropped my flag here. And watch how quick this undoes. Boy, and that's really handy. That way, if your mare got in a little bind or your horse got in a bind, you can just get in there and get them out. Now, everything we do on one side, we certainly want to try to do it on the other. So again, I want to be real soft, just like with my bridle rein, bumper, 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 real soft here, and check her to that cinch ring just like I did before, just like that. Now she's checked up again. I'm going to step away from my mare, let her find that, and then I'll give her a chance to follow that feel. So here she goes, and this is just a starting check. Now this time she's stepping the other direction. She's stepping to her right, and look, I'm stepping to my right. And I would only flag her when I could see that left eye. I'd only flag her when I could see her in that left eye. Now, here, watch that. Now, and look how good she begins to get. And boy, you can do a lot of good work with these horses on the ground, teaching them to follow a feel, to soften up, to give to pressure, to follow it with their feet, keeping the head down at a good level position. So this is really excellent work for your horse if you present it the right way. And look, I'm just simply working with a halter. All right, and I'm gonna let her see me here. Whoa, I'm gonna tell her whoa, whoa. Watch, I can reach across, just uncheck her and get her undone. So the check line's a really handy and good piece of equipment that you can use in your horsemanship to begin to develop some handle and position on your horse. So checking is such a great thing to do. I've been doing it for years, and again, it just helps these horses to figure out what we want and what we don't want. Now there's different styles of checking, and this is what I want to take you to now. As I go to check my horse now, I'm going to show some checking in the vertical position. And when I start to get vertical, now I'm going to get more advanced. So as I go vertical, I'm going to go to my bridle. All right, I'm going to my snaffle bit, and this is what I call a soft check. Is to get vertical flexion, or that position that we all like for the horse to break at the pole. Look, I've just run the rein through the stirrup, through the bottom of it on both sides, so it's just the weight of the stirrup bringing this horse's head down, and then I've tied my reins across the back of the saddle. And this horse is going to learn to move forward into pressure and into position. So if I get my flag here, I'm going to ask this horse to drive forward. So to just move forward into pressure. Now this is a soft check. So I ask her to go forward, and I always start real easy. Remember, be sure you've done your homework with your horse, with your hands, before you try any of this type of checking. So I'll ask my horse to go forward, and just look at the pretty position with just the weight of those stirrups. So again, this is a soft check and a wonderful, wonderful way to start your horse. So the horse can move up into the canter, and again, in a very collected position, and she learns it without me even being up on her back. Whoa. Boy, and look at that stop on those hind quarters, because she is in the correct position. Hey, checking, we got more coming, different styles to develop that great position with you and your horse. That's coming up next on Ride Smart.
This Ride Smart Tack Tip is brought to you by Cactus Saddlery.
Your tack tip for today, the knot that I use to tie your headstall and your reins onto your bit. You know, most people just use a simple granny knot, which is fine, but if you want it to be stronger, look better, and stay tied, then you're gonna like this knot that I'm fixing to show you. Here's the way that it works. I just take my little tie strings just like this, pull them through, then just go like I'm starting a little granny knot. Most people, they just tie another knot here. Instead of doing that, just take this one again and go back through the same direction that you went before, just like so. Pull that thing down and see how it doubles and makes it really pretty. And when you pull that thing down, I guarantee it's strong. It's not going to come untied. This is the same knot that I'm going to use to tie my reins on. Very effective, looks good, and won't come untied. You know, it's the little things that make the difference between a real good cowboy and a real good hand and one that isn't. Hey, that's your tack tip for today, and don't forget to keep riding smart.
Cactus Saddlery, a dedicated supporter of Craig Cameron Horsemanship, is the maker of the Craig Cameron Signature Saddle, as well as an array of other quality saddles for competition, western pleasure, and everyday ranch work at cactussaddlery.com. And now back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
All right, I've got a different style of checking, and this one's definitely more advanced. And you got to make sure these horses are good with your hands, or soft in their face before you ever try checking your horse. I mean, I'm usually months down the trail before I ever start checking my horses up. But look at this check. This one's definitely more advanced. I'm going from the snaffle bit. Hey, this is designed to work with the halter or a snaffle style bit, no other type of bit, not a shank or leverage bit. Now I'm going between the legs, up, over the saddle, and tied. Again, very advanced, because if this horse got into trouble, boy, they could panic and flip over if you hadn't done your homework and this horse wasn't really soft in her face, on her mouth, and in her poll. So now, a lot of times when I first do this, I just let the horse stand here. And let me tell you something, guys, you don't want to be leaving town when you check your horse up. Don't be going to check the mail and make a long telephone call, or going to the coffee shop and get to visiting with all your partners up there and leave your horse checked. That's not the way to do this. You know, a lot of times checking the horse just like 30 minutes for me, something like that, and I'm usually right here with this horse. That way if they got in a bind or a pinch, well, I'd be right here to help them. So now that I've let my horse stand here, let me show you how it works. And one thing I want you to notice is when she goes forward here, boy, it's going to work one rein at a time. Watch that. Her chest will hit those reins and it'll go right, left, and just bring that nose right down into that good collected position. Remember, collection is a position that allows a weight transfer from the front end to the engaged hindquarters. In other words, collection is not going to do you much good unless you can do it while the horse's feet are moving. And that's why it's really neat to develop this checking system with your horse. Boy, it really advances your horse, and he teaches himself while you're just slowly directing him here on the ground. So now, I ask my mare to go forward, real soft into pressure and into position. So I ask her to step this way, real soft, weight on my mare. I want her to go forward. And a lot of times I'll start just slow like this. Well, you can see that head really wanting to come down, but I'm more interested in her braking at the pole. So as I go to a trot, like so, you can see the collected position. See how the nose begins to get vertical. Perfect collection would be for that pole to be slightly higher than those withers. So again, I'm not necessarily looking for perfection as I start, looking for that try and letting this mare work into that collected position. Now try to watch those reins right there as they bump into her chest. See how she picks up the correct lead, she moves forward in that good collected position and allows her to develop a good, strong top line. This is a wonderful, wonderful way to check your horse. Woo. But I gotta really caution you to make sure that your horse has been really schooled really well in the beginning. You know, don't go try this method here and have this horse get into trouble because you didn't do your homework. Now that works good. I might send her the other way, let her work. This is certainly good for my horse. One of these things that's a good way to warm your horse up too before you actually step on these horses. So here she goes this direction, picking up the correct lead, traveling in a good collected position. And whoa, whoa. See how that sets her on her hocks in her stops as well. And when I walk up to a horse that's collected, I want to walk up real soft so she doesn't panic and hit the end of that bit and get into any kind of trouble, because she is tied off. So I ease in here real soft so she knows I'm not trying to move her or drive her off. And I just never tie these real tight, where I can always get them done really easy, just like this, and I take her out of that checked position. And I just lead her forward on a soft, loose rein. Everything we're trying to do is develop a softness with our horses. And you wonder how a lot of guys are getting this done so well. Boy, it's by checking these horses up. This is what a lot of professional horsemen are doing, and you can do it too, as long as you're doing your homework and getting your horse ready, getting them prepared. All right, I'm going to show you another way of checking your horse. This is another advanced check. What I've got is the left rein tied back to this D-ring in the saddle. So I got her nose tipped slightly to the left. Just look out slightly to the left. And then with my off rein, or right rein in this case, look, I've got this tied real low, just around the cinch here. I just want this thing to be right here, and that's what's going to hold her straight and collected. So now if she wants to pull on herself, she can. I'm going to try to send her straight ahead to the left, with her head tipped slightly to the left and bringing it down with that right rein to get that good collected position. Let's see if it's going to work. So I got a position up to go to the left this time. Here, and it's that right rein that's really going to help me get the position that I want to drive her straight ahead, just like so. Again, she's slightly over collected, but hey, I like it. You know, she's almost doing that to herself. And again, I'd rather be soft like that than to fight it. She's actually really given to it. And look how her nose is tipped left and extremely collected. So she's real soft in the atlas and axis joints. That's the first two vertebrae in her neck, and that's what we call the pole. I'm asking her to go for one more time and just give to that. And I like the way she picked up that canter. Watch, here she comes. Real soft. Bring her around, developing that soft pole, strong top line, and whoa, boom, just like so. So remember, the left rein was checked slightly to the left, right one down, keeping her straight, and broke at the pole. Boy, a great way to check the horse and advance your horse. I feel like this mare here is ready to ride. I'm going to ease over here and tighten my cinch, and watch how soft she's going to be in her face, in her neck, and in her pole when I get up here and get ready to work my flexibility exercises. So I'm going to step on nice and easy, like so. And I'm going to walk over there closer to you guys and just really check my horse out. And you can see how soft she is right now. So watch, look at the softness in this mare. She's just a delight. And you know what? She's not any heavier than those reins. So when I drive her forward here with just a light touch here, good. This mare gives me that soft, collected position that we're all looking and striving to get. Whoa. Hey, checking, what a great deal. I think if you do it right, you're gonna love those results.
And now back to Ride Smart with Craig Cameron.
Today's show, all about checking your horse up. Remember, we started with just an easy lateral check using the Craig Cameron check line and just using a halter, making it simple and moving that horse around left and right, following a feel. Hey, the secret, never check too deep. After that, went to our soft check. After that, we went into our more advanced checking. Really getting this horse soft vertically, giving the pressure, and developing the great position everybody is desiring to make those good performance horses. Hey, hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time on Ride Smart.
what it takes? Don't miss your chance to qualify for these upcoming Craig Cameron Extreme Cowboy Race events. Visit CraigCameron.com for more details. Space is limited, so enter today.